Hello guys and welcome back to Big Brother Canada, and today we are diving into week 3 of the competition. We're on episode 6 and 7 in this episode, which is going to cover the head of household competition, the veto competition, and both sets of nomination ceremonies. So that means next episode will be another eviction, but for now we've got a lot to talk about because everything is kicking off. Alliances are being broken, alliances are forming, and a blind side that might send a favourite to win home in week 3. So guys, you've got all of that to look forward to. So without much further ado, let's get into the video. But before we do, I just want to say thank you very much guys for just engaging with the content. I know some of you don't watch this series, some of you aren't watching the show, but you're watching me talk about it, and I do really appreciate all of that. I think it's a great show, and it sucks that it's not more readily available in this country. Remember, the link in the description does take you to somewhere where you can watch it if you are interested in watching along. It is worth it, trust me. It does get very, very juicy the longer the series goes on. You know, a lot of shows sort of die out the later they go on. This doesn't do that. It keeps on going, it keeps on going, it keeps on going. And yeah, I think this is going to definitely be something that you guys, it's only 3 episodes a week, which is not a lot. They're 45 minutes each. And yeah, you guys can crack on with it. But if you are enjoying the content, make sure you're liking, make sure you're subscribing, and make sure you're commenting down below whether you're enjoying the content or not. I'm going to keep making this because I'm enjoying it. I want to make content on it, and I kind of need content because there's no new TV shows coming out for a while. So yeah, if you guys are enjoying, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We're on our way to 800. Get us there, please. So we are going to talk about the HOH competition first. If you don't know what HOH stands for, it stands for head of household. The head of household chooses who goes up for nomination each week, and it's a very, very powerful role. They can choose who stays, who goes, and well, they don't choose who goes, but they choose the people to be put up for nomination, essentially. So the whole idea of this was that they had to run down to some water vats, suck up as much water as they can, run round to these little pipe things and spit water into different people's tubes. If the people's tubes reached a certain level, they were out, and then the person whose tube was not full at the end of the challenge was the winner, essentially. This was a very interesting one to watch. It was very tense. The girls kind of systematically took the boys out in this order. Vivek got targeted by pretty much everyone. Then Elijah was out, then Dennis, then Todd, then Tola, then Matt. And this is where things started to get a little bit interesting, because the girls started to have to then target each other. So then Bailey and Donna went out, and then it was just the Hot Chocolate Alliance left. And then Kayla went out, Avery went out, and it just came down to Lexus and Spicy V. Now, here's the thing. Spicy V did not want the head of household. She didn't want the power. She didn't want the stress of having to put people up for nomination. Lexus has made enemies in the house with some of the girls because they don't trust her because she's being friendly with the boys. So it would have been smarter for Spicy V to throw the end of the competition to give it to Lexus, because Lexus and V are already on good terms. So that would have been personally what I would have done. But I think it was kind of too far gone. Like Spicy couldn't make Lexus win because Lexus had more water to spit in her own tube. Yeah, it was basically just a lot harder for Lexus to win than it was for V to win. So I think she just took the victory. So yeah, that was the whole head of household competition. It was a very entertaining one, and like I said, the production value on these challenges are really cool, and I also think that they're quite exhilarating to watch because it really is a competition. It's not like the flimsy ones on the UK version where it's like, oh, if you don't win, it's not the end of the world. It's like, if you don't win, you could be going home. That kind of thing. That's the level of stakes I want. I want people to lose a challenge and be like, fuck, I'm going home now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. So, with V being head of household, Vivek is now very concerned about his place in the household because he noticed that everyone was kind of targeting him. We spoke in the last episode about how Vivek has been on people's radars as someone that they can't necessarily trust, but he believes that he can trust Dougie or Anthony and his secret East Coast alliance that he believes he has. He believes that he has an East Coast alliance of Bailey, Donna, and Todd, which I find very, very interesting because from the sounds of it, none of them are really that interested in the alliance. It was kind of just a day one thing. But then they decided to show us all the way up to, I think it was about day 6, 7, or 8. I can't remember what it was. I think we're on like day 12, 13, maybe 14 at this point. But they showed little clips of the other members mentioning the alliance. So they can't even deny that they were part of it, which I find really, really interesting. But obviously, because Vivek has told Anthony this, Anthony's told V, and then V is having conversations with the members and basically dropping hints and being like, oh, are there any alliances I should know about? And they're not saying anything. So V decides to play a very risky card, and this could have easily backfired and worked out really badly for her, but it kind of worked out perfectly in the sense of she confronted Vivek and went, I know about an alliance, and he crumbled. She went, one of your alliance members has already spilled to me, so what's going on? Obviously this was a lie, but apparently the way to get information out of people in this game is to lie to them and say that you've already got the information and that you want to hear it from them, which is so smart. It's such a smart tactic. It's something that I do in real life, is when I find out something from somebody and I want to hear it from the person, I'll just casually drop hints into conversation until they naturally tell me, and then I've heard it from their own mouth. It's just good gameplay at the end of the day. It's smart. It is what it is. But he dropped the names. He made it very clear that he didn't think it was actually a real alliance, or he doesn't feel like it's a real alliance now that they are all targeting him. But then V decided to go tell Bailey what had happened, because V was obviously like, well, who do you want to go up? And he went, Bailey and Todd, because clearly they're talking about me behind my back. Little does he know, it's his best friend Dougie. I love this show. This show is absolutely perfect because the amount of lying, deceiving, all of that goes on, absolutely perfect. It's absolutely brilliant to watch. If you're not watching it, you've got to watch it. So yeah, there was that. That happened. Very, very interesting to watch. And then obviously Bailey was really fuming. They brought Vivek in and the rest of the alliance, and V was like, look, this is what I know. Vivek told me. And then Bailey just goes off on one when he tells her to relax. This is the kind of argument that I've been waiting for. This is the kind of explosion I've been needing, and thank you, Bailey. I just want to say thank you, because this was absolutely what I wanted to happen. I wanted there to be drama. I wanted there to be like sparks. And the funny thing about all of this is V's caused all of this, and she's sitting there like, oh my god, how could this possibly happen? It's expert manipulation. It's perfection when it comes to gameplay, and we're watching a masterclass in how to manipulate people against each other. When people watch this back, they're going to be like, rah, we were played this entire time. And I gotta say, V, you're doing a fantastic job. Absolutely fantastic. So before we get into the nominations, we are going to talk about the Directors Alliance. Now, if you remember in the previous episode, I talked about the Hot Chocolate Alliance. That involves, oh god, Dougie, Kaylee, V, Avery, and Lexus. And now they're expanding that to the Directors, which involves Elijah and Matt. Now, we already know Lexus and Matt have a little bit of a no-mance. They're quite a cute little pairing, but they're not really wanting anything to go anywhere because obviously being in the house and the showmance is not the best idea. but they're in a little bit of like a no man's. Don't ask me what that is. But I think this is an interesting group of people. There's now 7 of them. There's only 12 people in the house, maybe 13, because Janine's gone actually. So, and I think there was 14 to start with. There's only 13 people in the house, and they currently have a majority. So, I don't know, is this game over for everyone else in the house? Will this alliance last? V already has spoken to Elijah and been like, yo, I want you to go up as a pawn because nobody is voting you out if you're up against Vivek. Nobody is voting you out. And he went, yeah, sure, I'll do it. I'll do it as a sign of you can trust me and I can trust you. And I think that's smart. Might not be, because it could backfire on Elijah if Vivek saves himself on the veto. And then it's like, oh, fuck, who do I put up next? But I think it's a smart play for now. So that leads us on to nominations. The nomination ceremony kind of went how we expected it to. Vivek was nominated against Elijah, and I feel like this is a kind of done deal. But obviously with the veto, anything could change. These 2 people have been nominated for eviction. They're going up. I think it's a smart choice personally from V. Vivek is the house target, so she's not getting any blood on her sort of clothes by putting him up for nomination. Elijah, merely a pawn. People aren't going to question him going up because she's explicitly said, you are not my target. You are not the person I want to get rid of. And it's very interesting. It's fan-freaking-tastic to watch because I decided to watch the next episode because I was like, oh, I can't just watch one. Got to watch another. And so we're going to move on to the next episode because the next episode changes everything. What you thought you knew about this game is about to change because we're about to lead with a blind side. So I'm going to skip the gameplay bit for a little bit and I'm going to head straight into the picking players for Veto and Veto competition. Purely because there's a big plot going on in this episode. There's lots of different layers and I need to get this out of the way because otherwise we're going to be breaking it up and I kind of just want to talk about it in one go. The Veto competition. Vivek chose Dennis. Elijah chose Lexis. V chose Avery. Obviously they were all random picks. V got housemate's choice, so therefore she chose Avery because I think Avery is one of the people she trusts the most, and it would also mean that she can guarantee that what she wants to happen with the veto will happen if Avery does win. Now, this veto competition was quite tough, I thought. There was lots of different elements to it. They had to take these puzzle cubes along a rope through an obstacle course. Then once they got it to the end, they had to drop it perfectly into these like square containers. And then once they dropped all of the cubes into the square container perfectly, they then had to do a puzzle. Oh my god, this was the most confusing challenge ever. Like, I was genuinely watching it going, once it got to the puzzle, I was like, oh god, like I could do it, but it would take me a second to be like, huh? I've completely forgotten what I'm meant to be doing here. Please help me. But yeah, on the whole, it was a good competition. It was quite neck and neck, I thought. I thought it was quite tight. It was very tense at the end because it came down to Dennis and Avery. And Avery was doing really well, but Dennis just clinched the victory again. This is his second veto competition win in a row. I was surprised. I gotta be honest. I was really, really surprised because I didn't expect him to be so good at challenges, but he is. And I think it's because he is a little bit of an underdog. I think everyone kind of looks at him and goes, oh, no, you're not going to do very well. But he actually is doing very, very well, and I'm very, very impressed. But he won it very, very narrowly. It was like, when I tell you it was check, that was literally how close it was. Maybe that's just how close it was in the editing, but like, either way, it was insanely close. So, Dennis has won the power of veto. That means we're now moving on to the plot. Now, What is this plot, you may ask? Well, this is exactly what I found very interesting, because Donna and Todd were just having a chat, a very innocent chat, just about Vivek, right? On the sunbeds outside. And apparently, V can watch the security cameras from her room, which I found very interesting. And now she feels like she can't trust Donna, because Donna is saying, oh yeah, there's no alliance. There is no alliance. But then she's hanging out and being really pally with one of her supposed alliance members. So can you see where the alarm bells are coming from? I think I would be very wary and nervous. And then when obviously Vivek chose Dennis, which was the one person he wanted to choose for the veto, Donna was kind of celebrating with Vivek, or like celebrating for Vivek. Vivek was like, oh, I'm really happy. And Donna was like, oh, yay, yay. And Avery was like, that's weird, because once again, you have denied that there is no alliance, and yet now you're really happy that he could potentially be saved. That's not ringing true. And obviously V is like, rah, that's not okay. That's not okay. Maybe Donna should now be my target. And so she pulls Vivek in and goes, right, there is this plan, okay, to backdoor somebody. I have every single person who is doing this challenge ready to save you from nominations, but you must pledge your allegiance to me. This is what I mean by V is an all-star. I don't know how she was on her first series, but she is playing this game so spectacularly right now. It's clean. She's got everyone on board with her little plan. They might not know the ins and outs of it, but they are willing to use the power of veto on Vivek, who was pretty much public enemy number one. I'm shocked that this has happened, but it works out perfectly for Vivek, and V has now gained an ally in Vivek. It's a win-win. They're literally, and she doesn't trust Donna, so obviously Donna's going to go up. But then, here's where things get really interesting. Donna, still thinking she's chill with V, goes up to V and goes, yo, I've been noticing that Anthony keeps on coming up here. What's going on with that? And then she goes to V and goes, yo, I think we should put Anthony up as a replacement nominee if Vivek gets taken down. And V's like, rah, because like, that's not happening. Dougie's like my type bestie. He's my final two. So no, that's not happening. But obviously she doesn't tell Donna that. She goes, oh yeah, that's not a bad idea. Oh yeah, it's not a bad idea. But then V was also like having doubts about putting Donna up, like, oh, do I really want the first two people to go this series to be like women and me to be a part of that? Not really. But also, you got to play the game. It like men, women, it doesn't really matter in this game. It matters about you getting to the end. You're gonna have to backstab everyone eventually. Do you know what I mean? They're gonna have to all leave eventually if you want to win. So I don't know. That's just my personal opinion on it. But I can understand why you would be hesitant to, etc., etc. But I think this is a really interesting blindside opportunity. Obviously, Dennis has the power of veto. Will he use it? Let's find out. So the veto meeting happened. I'm pretty sure not many people were in on the plan to backstab and backdoor Donna, but Dennis did actually use the veto on Vivek. So Vivek is now safe, taken down from nominations. And V went, Donna, you're my replacement nominee. And Donna was fuming, because obviously Donna believed that she had an ally in Victoria, and she doesn't. So I'm going to be very interested to see what this eviction's like. I have a feeling Donna's going to be going home, but people might want to save her over Elijah. And I'm not sure I'm ready for Elijah to go home. I feel like Donna's been playing the game a little bit fast and loose, a little bit, but I think that she doesn't deserve to go home week 2. But then I don't know who does deserve to go home week 2. I don't think anybody deserves to go home. Which is a really shitty thing to say, because I'm like, oh, I'm so impartial. But that is all we've got time for today. We have absolutely whizzed through 2 episodes, so there's probably plenty I've missed. So if there was something that you really liked, make sure to comment in the description down below, and make sure to subscribe. You guys are doing bits on the channel at the moment. We're getting to 800. But until then, thank you guys very, very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Keep on ranting. Bye now.